All right, let's get go. Let's get the ball rolling. I'm sure one or two more people will join us as time goes on. But welcome to the meeting this morning, and welcome back, Trevor. Trevor has been on AWOL for a couple of weeks, but it's good to have him back. And for the people who are joining us, the purpose of this business chat is to we are in a stage of the economy that although you have a lot of experience entering this new phase, things happen so rapidly and it's so new that unless we meet each other regularly and just explore these things from different angles, we can miss the boat. And in this, we do this via business chat, and we start with a topic, and it's also our way of networking with people. So we ask everybody who joins us to put their contact details in the chat room, so that before you go, you can then just copy the chat to your own computer, and then offline you can connect with people that you felt made a good contribution and that you would like to engage further. Now, this morning, the topic is about what successful people do in 2021. And we've asked Trevor Nel to introduce it to us. And then the format is that afterwards, we will all engage in either add stuff that we feel that is on track, or we can disagree with him. There's no right or wrong here, but that's our topic today. What are people keeping themselves busy with now in 2021? And specifically the successful people. So without any further ado, Trevor, I'd like to hand over to you.
Okay, I think I've unmuted myself, have I?
Yes.
All right, so that's a great start to 2021 in this chat. Always unmute yourself when you're on Zoom. And I have to doff my cap to the boss. I see he's just joined us. Hello, Sabella and Dawn and Ivan. Look, you know what, I haven't really prepared for this because I think it's important just to talk from the cuff, and I'll share with you some of the things that we've been doing and who we've been watching, who tend to give us clues as to where we've got to position ourselves. And I believe that the year 2020 was an eye-opening, earth-shattering, I don't know, just paradigm shifting, if we want to use some sort of TED Talk type terminology. It was just, it shook people to the core. And what we noticed, and I mean, here we're sitting in Johannesburg, South Africa, we're almost at 365 days of lockdown in some format or other. I think I saw we were at about 358 or 359 days last night. And what we noticed as a grouping is from the time that COVID-19 hit, most people around the world, not only here in South Africa, but around the world, were like rabbits stuck in the headlights of a car. They just absolutely froze. But there were certain people who didn't. And those certain people who didn't were, they were tapped into the macro opportunities. And they tended to do extremely well. So you saw individuals who had big money, the Warren Buffetts of this world, the Jeff Bezos, the Elon Musk. They didn't mess around. Their assets just grew and grew and grew, and they just piled on the money. So some of the revelations to me, I think go down the route of, and that I want to share, what are the successful people doing? You know, there's the rare few that have tons of money, the mega billionaires, and then there's everybody else, from those that have no money to those that wish they had more money, and you're always talking to someone who would love to have more money. That's why we build businesses and projects, unless, of course, the sea and the beach attracts me. That's why Jasper made mention that I've been AWOL. If there's a chance to get down and sit on the beach, then I'll probably take that as a priority call. But I love doing businesses. And the purpose of building a business is to generate profit, and profit is really about money. So I want to go down the route of saying that for many people, success is about building businesses, generating revenue. And for those that argue that money is not important, bull dust, man. 2020 showed people that who don't have money how important it really is to actually get out there and survive. And I think this world is driven by people who are looking for ways to generate more money. And that only comes back to the value that you actually offer. So some of the things that I'd like to say about driving forward, what do successful people do? My advice to almost everyone is today, unless you have billions or millions that you can afford to actually go out there and speculate, I'd like to leave you with one thought, that what we should be doing is maximizing opportunities and minimizing downside risk. I just want to share with people that success is about getting rid of as much debt as you possibly can so that you can afford to actually speculate on where others are speculating at the moment. And I think in global terms, we are in a highly speculative economy. I think there is a group of youngsters that are the kids that were born at the turn of the century that couldn't care two hoots for what us baby boomers actually think. And they're only interested in, you know what, I'm watching because I bring up, I'm a guardian to a 12-year-old, my granddaughter. So I'll watch what she's interested in. And she's interested in youngsters who are making millions of dollars on YouTube. They're into gamification. They're into entertainment. And then I go and talk to a bunch of old timers, I better say. I almost had an FART type word ready for them, who always come back to me and say, you know what, I want to do a mom and pop business, or I want to set up something on the street corner, or I want to go and get a retail store in a shopping center. You know, for goodness sake, are you not watching where the world is actually going? So some of the type of things that I watch, and I'm going to share a screen, hopefully it actually comes up. Can I see what screen I want to share? No, it's not coming up for me. I will go down in and see if I can get that article up for you. All right, and then I'll share the screen again and see if it comes up. Nope, not coming up. Sorry? Yeah, no, she's at school, so I got a huge problem. I need my granddaughter to actually back me up. So what I'm going to do for you guys is this: I'm going to put in the chat a link.
Is it the flex screen one that you wanted, Trevor?
No, it is here. So where's the chat? I'm going to put this link in, and you can all just pick it up in your browsers, okay? It's a woman by the name of Kathy Wood, who heads up a company called arkinvest.com. And I think it's a great start as to what are the bad ideas. Okay, so thank you very much. Who did that? Was it Ivan or my granddaughter? Okay.
Yeah.
And
But
do
your
yourself
your grandson, yeah.
okay, thank you, my grandson. Do yourself a favor and go into this article and go into this woman's website and read her white papers. Because in her white papers, I'm going to start with this. She says the bad ideas for the next 10 years, and she's basically saying for the next 10 months and the next year: physical bank branches, brick and mortar retail, linear TV, freight rail, and traditional transportation. Now go in and analyze why she's actually saying this, and effectively you'll see that most people who want to return back to normal have got a challenge because these people are raising billions. And one thing I must tell you, for me, I've never seen so much money around in this world ready to go into speculative investments of all kind as I'm seeing right now. And you can see it by the Bitcoin boom. And Ivan, I'm going to give you another link that you can actually bring up for me. It's this one, because I want you to get to the chart that's on it for me, please. Let's do this. So this is teamwork. Where are you? That one, please. And find me that chart, because we shouldn't just be talking about the downside of bad ideas. Just go up and look for her chart on this. No, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, and keep going. All right, not there. All right, well, let's stop there. Stop there. Okay. You'll actually find perhaps the chart was on that picture up at the top. But I want you to have a look at where she is focused on the major innovations. Now, this woman, Cathie Wood, was one of the first about 10 years ago to actually start thinking about Bitcoin as a technology and really starting to understand where it is going. And she has been constantly talking about this Bitcoin. Now I need that. Yeah, that's good. Where am I? Yes. She has constantly been talking about Bitcoin as being the investment of the future for the last 10 years. I haven't understood a word of what she's actually said, but you actually have to go and have a look at what's been happening to this technology. So I spent a lot of time trying to understand what's going on with blockchain. And you will find she talks about disruptive innovation, and right at the top of her list of disruptive innovation right now for the next 5 to 10 years is blockchain technology. So if we are not understanding what the hell is going on, that this is going to about blockchain and what it's about and what is the difference between Bitcoin versus Ethereum and all of the technologies, you know, this new thing. Did everyone see the $69 million digital artwork that went out with Christie's about 10 days ago on an NFT? For goodness sake, why didn't I have, Ivan, why didn't you convert my artwork into that NFT? Because there are people that are going to throw money at these things. And it almost reminded me of, I love Gary Vaynerchuk. And where does Gary Vaynerchuk spend all of his time? He spends his time on these little old baseball cards going back 50, 60 years. The rarity of baseball cards making absolute millions. Well, the concept of this NFT and digital art and what people are doing reminded me exactly of collectibles like those. So they're becoming digital collectibles. Now, are they sustainable? I don't know, but if these superstars like Cathie Wood, who are bringing billions into new companies, are turning around and saying, study blockchain, study genomics, study artificial intelligence, know what is actually going. Are we doing that ourselves right now is the question that we've got to be asking. So I'm immersed in that, trying to understand what it is about these technologies that these people saw 5 to 10 years ago that I absolutely missed, but I better catch up on in the next 3 months. So I think that's extremely important to find people like that. And then I would suggest to you what I did, and because I can't bring the blooming technology up here, is just go and Google predictions 2021. And there are some people like a guy by the name of Scott Galloway, who I like. He's out of New York University, who tends to be, he's pretty controversial, and he tends to be on the side of the institutions. He takes an institutional view. He's completely against Bitcoin. And then I like other guys like Max Kaiser, who actually commentates for Muriel Rubini. So Max Kaiser, he commentates for Russia TV, Skanda. But you've got to get his different points of view. And he's been absolutely amazing. And he tends to fight. This Max Kaiser fights Scott Galloway and Muriel Rubini, who is on networks that we actually deal with, and they have opposing points of view. Now, one view is winning in the marketplace. Kathy Wood, for instance, I think she predicted that, and Max Kaiser predicted that this year, Bitcoin would hit $50,000. Well, why didn't she tell me last year or 5 years ago when I could have got in at $1 to $10, but I didn't understand what the hell it was about. I wish they'd have told me then. What do? Do you go chasing that now or don't you? I think it's the underlying technology. And what's really got me excited at the moment, where I'm playing with, is I've been driven by my 12-year-old granddaughter, who spends all of her time on a concept called Roblox. And I pasted that onto the Community Chamber of Commerce website. And I've been posting all the links that I actually refer to on the Chamber of Commerce website so that you understand where it is I'm researching. And I said about, it must have been about 3-4 weeks ago, watch this company Roblox. It's coming to market. Boy, did it come to market. Roblox, games that are taken up by young kids and played around with young kids, 68 billion, I think it did. I think it was, 68 billion as a listing. And Ivan, I mentioned this to Ivan and he said, Roblox, I've never heard about it, about 4 or 5 days ago. And I told him about my 12-year-old granddaughter who's doing it. And even I started playing out with a Roblox platform. And I hope Ivan's going to show us, would you show us the work that you've done on a Roblox platform? And I'll let you see what a 12-year-old grandkiddie like Ivan does on these things. And there's a guy, when Ivan, will you just bring that up, please? I want you just to show that. And recognize that today there is a guy by the name of, Ivan, you're going to have to remind me what his name is. He does the Flim Flam shop, Flamingo. Go and search for Flamingo as a YouTuber. And I'm watching the time. I can see you scowling there. You must be telling me go and have a look at what Flamingo, the YouTuber, is doing on digital platforms at the moment. He is probably a 23-year-old right now. He's generating in excess of $8 million per annum, just commentating on or doing reaction videos on new designers of Roblox entertainment games that last for about 90 seconds, maximum 3 minutes, that young kids all over the world are being attracted to, and they want to break the challenge down in the millions. Now, I mentioned this to Ivan, and he doesn't like me having more information than him. So he immediately went and designed his own Roblox platform so that he could offer a game to the rest of the world. I did say that I like swimming, and this is what he designed in his first, I don't know how long it took him, but just playing around with it. And this is the underlying basis of a $68 billion listing about, it was last week, just to give you an indication. Now, if you're not aware of this and you're interested in where do I spend my time over the next 5 to 10 years, you've got to be aware of where people are actually going to be playing. So some of the thought that I've got about what are the successful people going to be doing in 2021? Well, the Elon Musks of this world, you can see where they are playing. Elon Musk, he invested $1.5 billion of his company's money, SpaceX, into Bitcoin. Why? Who would do that? So you've got to go and find the answers. If you don't know the answers to that, or you haven't formulated your own answers, I think we could be missing something big time. The other thing that I want to share with you is you might be turning around and saying, but you know what? Do I really want to play in all of this thing? Well, you might be missing out on where the world is going, and you might fall the way of these retail businesses and all of those that are just going to be wiped out, almost like Kodak moments where they weren't aware, of digital camera technology going to wipe out their old physical formats of camera rolls and all that sort of thing. We might be taken out overnight. So my proposal is, out of 2020, if you're thinking of, hey, I want to get back to the old normal, man, take the old normal as 30 to 50% of where you're going in your business initiatives, and take the other 50 to 70% of your time and try and find a very quick way to get onto this new digital bandwagon that these people are playing into. Find some time to actually invest into this, and then find a way to do it quickly. Some of what I want to mention that we did, that has just opened up new opportunities for us, is when we kickstarted just about a year ago. Dawn came to us as a member of the chamber and said, hey, this COVID-19 has just killed my industry. Dawn, you can say, yes, it killed it overnight, and has probably killed it for the next 3 to 4 years, as it was before, 5 years, okay. And many people's businesses were involved like that. So very quickly, between a collaborative effort of all of us, we developed these things, and it was all collaborative. It was input. How in 21 days can we do something completely different operating from home? And by the way, that's clearly one of the major directions that has changed business in global terms. More and more of us are going to be working on Zoom, and we're going to be working from home. And I love it. Who wants to get into all these traffic jams and all that type of nonsense? So it's actually kickstarted us into the Zoom technology and these sort of platforms. And there are people who hate it. You've got to be crazy. This is the greatest way for a reclusive old to actually operate, because you don't have to get dressed, and you don't have to be pretentious in who you are, get stuck in the traffic jams, etc. And you can connect with people worldwide, and you can take your business global. So I don't know where I was going, Jasper, pull me back. What I want you to think about, yes, I was going down the road of, we developed virtual trade platforms. We did the virtual trade fair. We did Africa and .global. Maybe, Ivan, you can put in the links there if you want to do that. And then that got onto our wisdoms. All of a sudden, our wisdoms initiatives, and Ivan is a co-director of wisdoms. Lee, I don't know if she's around. But we suddenly went global. We then started taking our program that we promote into corporates, high value, high price program, and we actually tweaked it to create a high value program at just $1 a month, and that went out global. What else did we do? We then started doing platforms for an operation on global networks, and then BBX UK. We started doing platforms. Ivan was a key driver behind that for a company that's got 90,000 business interests around the world. We couldn't have done that if we were sitting back and saying, man, let's just sit and wait and see if we can go back to the old normal. You've got to be thinking about doing things. And that has just opened us up to all these new opportunities. Now, you can see, I don't know how to actually operate this technology at all. And my biggest cry is, how do I get more and more 12 and 15-year-olds and 16-year-olds to actually come in and operate with us, because they are the future. And they are able to take people like me. I don't want to share with you how close I am to 70, but you know, I'm not as young as I look online here, but we need more and more of these people if we're going to be in business for the next 30 odd years. God willing, Sabella. So you must know that we've got to get more and more youngsters around us so that we can understand why they are so involved in digital entertainment, and how we can start applying gamification to our old concepts and making them new and new tweaks. That's where we've got to be spending our time. You know, I'm going to take the next 3 minutes just to wrap up and leave 30 minutes for everyone else to comment on, Jasper. There are 2 other things that I just want to comment on. No, 3. Please, if you haven't had a look at reaction videos I've posted onto these individuals, rappers in New York, who were sitting in their home environment during COVID, and they decided, and this started in 2018, that what they would do is they would go back and they would analyze old rock music, metallic music, it doesn't matter what music, and they would commentate on it. These people are making millions of dollars commentating on the Beatles and Pink Floyd and all of these particular people. And we still have people here turning around and, well, how do I make a buck? Well, go and have a look at how these guys are doing $1 million. So I've put some of those links on board. I then also shared with Ivan last week something that I was informed of by my granddaughter, again, 12-year-old granddaughter. She gives me the biggest clues, excuse me, as to what is happening. And she told me about Mr. Beast. Please put your hand up, every one of you who knows who Mr. Beast is. Excuse me, please put your hand up, every one of you who knows who Mr. Beast is. All right, so now this guy, Mr. Beast, gives away millions of dollars on YouTube, on Netflix. You can go and find him on a daily basis. He will happily give away $50,000 here or $10,000 there. So I know all of you are now into your Google browser and you're looking up Mr. Beast. Go and find out what he's doing and how he's doing it and how he's bringing mega numbers in by giving away money. And that relates back to people like Peter Diamandis and Bill Gates, who have been turning around and saying, you know what, if we want to solve the world's biggest problems, we must start giving away huge incentives. So Peter Diamandis really made himself famous by giving away millions of dollars to individuals who could come up with society-changing ideas. So look up Peter Diamandis and what it did there. Ivan, you can remind me of, I think it was the X project, okay?
X Prize.
Go and look up Peter Diamandis and the X Prize, and then start thinking about, hey, hang on a moment, how can we get involved in this game of giving away millions of dollars? I mean, how good would it make you feel to give away thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars? This guy's got it right, Mr. Beast. And I think Mr. Beast is probably around 27.
23, I think, Trevor, 23 or 24.
Okay, you know, call me a liar for 4 years. He just gives hundreds of thousands away. And then there was a youngster that we came across who started commentating on, what did he commentate? Minecraft. 16 years of age, started in 2018. That was just before COVID was starting to be called COVID-19. He started in 2018. And I think, Ivan, you will remind me, he's worth about $2.2 million at the moment. He's 16 years of age, out of the UK. I want to puke. We've got to be there. So what I'm not saying is give up your old style business, because bread and butter income is extremely important. But maybe if we're focusing on that bread and butter income, we might be in survival and struggle mode, and we've got to see what these other people are doing almost overnight to make millions of dollars. And somewhere between those two extremes are the happy medium. Otherwise, if you really want to be the best of the best, I think marry Elon Musk's daughters, Warren Buffett's granddaughters, Bill Gates, see if you can get connected to anyone in their family and see if they share some of their hard-earned billions with you, because they've got so much, or make something exciting. Oh, I must say, I'm looking at Sabella, and I hope Sabella discusses something. He's introduced me to some guys in Singapore who've come up with concepts. Now I'm dubious, but these guys are so enthusiastic. They, as Singaporeans, you can see why these Asians are so successful at the moment. They are enthusiastic about life. They're willing to speculate. They're willing to try something new, and they understand the basics of business. So maybe Sabella will touch on that when he comes through. So please forgive me, Jasper. As you know, I don't prepare for any of these discussions. Thank you very much for giving me a lovely front PowerPoint screen about what successful people do in 2021. I'll give you one wrap up. Successful people find the secret of success right under their nose. It's, you know it, it's there. You're just not applying it, and you're not taking it global. The money is global. We've got to be thinking global. Let me shut up.